Welcome back to The Express at the Make Store on Granville Island. You can get stockings embroidered, you can get digital art, put on an ugly Christmas sweater or an attractive one. All kinds of ways to personalize gifts. But it doesn't get more personal than our next story. At UBC Botanical Gardens, folks are making wreaths the old-fashioned way.
Leaves are rustling and people are bustling here at the UBC Botanical Garden.
It's a chance for us all to get together once a year and chat and just have a really good time.
And just like snowflakes, no two wreaths are ever the same. Each of the dozen or so volunteers at this Christmas workshop are adding their own flair to these traditional decorations.
Some of the materials and the colour schemes that our members make up, you just won't find them anywhere else. They're just so different.
This is a #1 first wreath.
Cedars, hollies, rose hips, volunteers can choose from a wide array of materials, and they're all collected from local gardens.
I know. Oh, can you get me some moss, please? Sorry. It's lots of fun, especially with the whole group here, because a lot of them give you a few helpful hints and a few negative comments to begin with. But in the general theme of things, it's all positive.
It may be fun, but it certainly isn't easy.
You make little bundles and then you sort of get them all together, and then they have to be mossed with wet moss and then tied together.
Each one of these custom creations is for sale at the Botanical Garden gift shop. And because they're local and all natural, these wreaths sell out every year.
They go very fast. Sometimes even they get taken off the trolley that we take them into the shop. They don't even get into the shop.
Of course, the best part of it all is taking a little credit for your hard work.
It's good. It's good. You know, people, if they don't ask where you got it, you have to make sure you tell them that you made it.
But before the wreaths hit store shelves, there's one final test.
We inspect the back to make sure that the string is nice and even, that there's lots of nice material in here, and then we throw it on the floor just to make sure when your door slams, nothing falls apart.
And even if it does, well, just think of it as returning it to the ground from which it came. I'm Liz Craig in Vancouver for The Express.
All proceeds from the wreath sales go toward education, research, and garden improvements at the UBC Botanical Garden. Their website is botanicalgarden.ubc.ca. Now, as we've been talking about on today's show, there's definitely a focus on DIY culture, right? Shopping local and meeting the person who made what you buy. Some of the many reasons to get your shop on this weekend in Vancouver at the One of a Kind show.
The One of a Kind show is back at the Vancouver Convention Centre.
The One of a Kind show is a shopping experience. It's destination shopping at its best because we've got 300 hand-picked artists under one roof for 4 days only. So everything that's here is here just for 4 days, and everything here is handmade. And that's the most important part, is that everything is made by their hands. Nothing is made in a production facility overseas. Everything is made by the artists themselves. It's really, really cool.
The showroom floor is divided into themes or neighborhoods. You'll find green products, handmade clothing, and unique food creations.
Millions and millions of gift ideas here, so something for everybody. So there's lots of stuff for kids, for him, for her, for mom, for dad. Everything from fashion to food, ceramics to eco-chic, a little bit of everything.
One of a Kind is a great showcase for us because that's basically what we do, is just one of a kind pieces. So each shoe, we only have one of each style, and each belt, we may have a couple of each, just different sizes, but for the most part, yeah, everything's a one-off.
In the food neighborhood of the One of a Kind show, you can sample all kinds of culinary treats.
Okay, I have to try the maple bacon. That sounds amazing. So this is peanut butter with all these great flavors.
Yeah,
they're all natural peanut butters, and they're all vegetarian, including the maple bacon. That's unbelievable. And what are these?
These are my mom's favorite ginger snap cookies. They are crisp on the outside and chewy in the center.
If you feel inspired by the creative genius in the room, you can visit the paint bar and try your hand at your own artistic creation.
So we've got large canvases and we've taped off little sections so everyone can come and try their hand. There's actually wine after 3 p.m. as well, so you can have a glass of wine and then get creative.
And you can also get creative by joining the Mighty Ugly workshop to make something ugly.
It's about removing the pressure that we feel to make something beautiful or pretty or to not fail. So Mighty Ugly is in essence making the goal something that we usually consider failure, which is to create a very, very ugly creature.
I think my guy's just ugly enough.
I think so too.
In Vancouver, I'm Kendall Harris for The Express.
Is it looking ugly yet?
Oh, that's looking pretty ugly. Good job.
The website is oneofakindvancouver.com, and it's on now at the Vancouver Convention Centre until December 11th. They also have complimentary daycare for up to 2 hours. You're watching The Express, and we have more handmade holiday gift ideas coming up.
All right, let's see what we got.
Ugly Christmas sweaters. How to take tacky to a whole new level.
That's perfect there. Look at that.
Can't say I was naturally a big fan of the fanny pack.
The fanny pack, it's back, and it looks better than ever.
But then again, I've never, I guess, really seen a fanny pack the way that Jules does it.
The Express. We are your local voice.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by
hairstyling and color services for Shaw TV, provided by the Lounge Hair Studio, loungehairstudio.com.
Today's generation of young people spend the least amount of time outside of any generation in human history. We need to have children out, we need to have people out in order to see the world around that allows us to live. I think something like the Sea to Sky Trail is the epitome of what we need to get people back out into the real world, to see nature as it can be, and something that we are a part of and that we must fight to protect.
Welcome back to The Express at the Make Store on Granville Island. As we showed you earlier in this show, you can get embroidery or digital imaging put on just about anything here. But if you really want to rock it out at an ugly Christmas sweater party, you might have to push the boundaries a little bit more. As we find out from a style expert, maybe you need to go 3D.
It's Christmas party season, and one event that's getting more popular is the ugly Christmas sweater party. But sometimes finding that perfect sweater isn't easy, so with the help of stylist Crystal Carson, I've decided to make one myself.
One thing that you want to do is look for already made appliques, things that you can kind of stick on and sew in and glue on, you know what I mean? So that because they're already kind of there, it saves you a bit of time. You definitely want to have the tinsel, like the garland, like I said, the lights. Jingle bells, I think, are very important. And anything that could light up.
Ah, yes, the Christmas aisle.
With that advice in mind, it's time to hit the Christmas aisle and look for our supplies. For my sweater, I want to get as many bright and festive items as possible. After all, it's all about having the best or worst sweater at the party.
And some snowmen, because that's Christmas.
Absolutely.
To have the best sweater means you're going to have some of the funniest conversations at the party. And to get that attention, and get people going and entertained.
After we get our Christmas goods, it's time to go pay. And now, we're off to start putting together this Frankenstein-like sweater.
Up on each shoulder.
Okay.
And then put the battery.
We start with the lights, which adds some flair, and then hide the battery in the stocking, which we pin on with care.
You just want to make sure you're in the right position.
Yep.
We then put the snowman together ourselves, and I pin them on the bottom while Crystal puts on the jingling snowman, the ribbon, and some of my other flair. After using the rest of our supplies and spending about an hour working on it, we decide we're done.
Yeah, that looks perfect there. Look at that.
It's fantastic. Well, I have to say, I think this is a pretty amazing sweater.
Amazing, ugly, I don't know what the word is for it, but I think it looks great, and I really appreciate your help and your time with it.
Absolutely. I do expect to get some photos of you and any of your competition at the party.
I don't think there'll be much competition from here on in.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Nice. Are we doing?
Regardless of what they think, I love it, and I might even wear it for the rest of the holiday season. I'm Peter Verge in Vancouver for The Express.
The whole process of making the Christmas sweaters only took a couple of hours. And as you can see, it's a gift that just keeps on giving for ugly Christmas sweater parties year after year. Now, up next on The Express, a gift idea that might sound ugly when I say fanny pack until you see how they're created by Love Jules Leather. She's definitely made them cool again.
The fanny pack is really important to me because it encompasses all that I am, really. It's kind of geeky, it's kind of stylish.
Inspired by the hip sack-toting tourists that flock to her ski resort, Whistler's Julia Vegalado stitches fashion into functionality in her home studio. Truly a hip sack, this Italian lambskin lover is a far cry from the 1980s neo-nylon tote. The edgy look is just one of Julia's growing collection entitled Jules Loves Leather.
The great thing about Jules' stuff is it's art, but it's also functional too.
The drawing university major first cuts leather strips, then transfers her nature-inspired designs via carbon copy for tracing.
The burning pen is creating the outline for the drawing. It creates this nice little wall for the ink, so when I apply the ink, it kind of just like stays in its zone.
Like a poet, her fingers are stained with ink. Only pictures tell her story. Tales of sea monsters and terrains travel into the far reaches of the imagination.
All my belts are named, and this guy's name is Homer. I love pirate ships too. This set of trees is really fine and intricate, and I have to do it like 10 billion times.
The independent business is slowly growing global roots. In addition to one-of-a-kind craft shows in Toronto and Vancouver, Love Jules is also sold in stores throughout BC, with designer showcases in New Zealand and the United Kingdom as well.
We have a connection to a designer called Swag and Soul. In the UK, the fanny pack is taken off, so they contacted me to make some fanny packs specific to their collection.
City sought, not city-fied. This hipster's distinctive West Coast flair pushes traditional concepts of fashion to the back.
It definitely took some convincing. I can't say I was naturally a big fan of the fanny pack, but then again, I've never, I guess, really seen a fanny pack the way that Jules does it.
The website is lovejulesleather.com for a list of the stores that carry the line. Everywhere from Pemberton to Whistler, Squamish, Vancouver, even Courtenay and Kelowna. And here at the Make Store on Granville Island, they have all kinds of quirky gifts, quality stuff, handmade by artisans, and also opportunities for you to put your own personal touch on things. Hopefully today's show gave you some great, unique gift ideas. We're going to leave you with a couple more. Thanks for watching The Express, only on Shaw TV.